Bridging Access to Care is proud to present its annual World AIDS Day Benefit Awards, celebrating 30 years of dedicated service in New York. This year, we honor the 30 outstanding leaders with the World AIDS Day Community Leadership Award, who are redefining and shaping the future of HIV through their commitment and professional excellence to their community, and who are working tirelessly to end the epidemic in New York. Bridging Access to Care would like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the health, government, and nonprofit communities who nominated all of this year's honorees, and to thank our supporters and sponsors, including AmitaCare, 1011 Group, the New York State Department of AIDS Institute Clinical and Education Initiative, Pause Magazine, PEX Office Plus, Brooklyn Winery, Retro Fitness, Alfred A. Knopf, and Masterworks Broadway. And now, we give you the year 2016 Outstanding Community Leadership Award recipients. Davina D Bailey. Davina is a native of Bedford-Stuyvesant and is the founder of Watchful Eye. Her life's work has revolved around fighting for services and care while advocating for the health and well-being of families and communities who do not have a voice in the fight for quality health care and social justice. Dee founded the Watchful Eye in 2009 to give a more direct focus to the fast-growing HIV and AIDS epidemic. Over the past 7 years, she has developed new initiatives such as the Red Ribbon Revitalization Campaign. Davina D Bailey. Natasha Baron. Natasha Baron is a family nurse practitioner and primary care provider at the East New York Health Center of Housing Works. She is a member of the New York State Nurses Association and the American Academy of Nurse Practitioners. In 2015, Ms. Baron received credentialing as an HIV specialist with the American Academy of HIV Medicine. She received her bachelor's degree in science in nursing in 1991 at the University of Pennsylvania and her master's in nursing from UC San Francisco in 1998. Ms. Baron was drawn to Housing Works in 2007, and it was during her work on the Shout ban that she became involved with HIV care and prevention at the recommendation and guidance of her supervisor and mentor, William Murphy. Ms. Baron has worked for nonprofit community health centers with a focus on the homeless and the underserved community of the city. Natasha Baron. Dr. Jeffrey Birnbaum. Dr. Jeffrey Birnbaum is an associate professor of pediatrics and public health at SUNY Downstate Medical Center and currently serves as the principal investigator and executive director of the Health and Education Alternatives for Teens, the HEAT program. At HEAT, since 1992, he has provided medical care to hundreds of HIV-positive youth aged 13 to 24 years. He has built the HEAT program into a system of care that provides age and developmentally appropriate, culturally competent care for heterosexual and LGBT youth who are living with or who are at high risk for HIV and AIDS. Dr. Birnbaum's work with HEAT has been recognized locally and nationally for its wholehearted commitment to caring for those with HIV and AIDS. Dr. Jeffrey Birnbaum. Nicole Bowls. Nicole Bowls is an African-American transsexual woman originally from Brooklyn who now resides in the Bronx. Nicole came to Exponents in early 2013 and began to volunteer her time as a peer in several of the agency's 15 distinct programs. Later, she formed Exponents' Transformation Support Group, an educational discussion group for women of transgender experience. Nicole has worked closely with senior management to develop and implement several trans-specific programs and programming for women detained in the Transgender Housing Unit operated by the New York City Department of Correction. Nicole continues to advocate for structural changes that enhance the lives of the trans community. Nicole Bowls. Darrell Cortez. Washington, D.C. native Darrell Cortez is the CEO and creative director of Chromeye Creative and the creator and producer of the Wrap It Up campaign, a visually intense social campaign and charitable platform using individuals of all races, gender, and walks of life within communities of color who are impacted by the epidemic. Wrap It Up continues to grow to make an impact by raising consciousness, encouraging ongoing testing, promoting education, and removing the stigma of living with HIV and AIDS. Darrell Cortez. Sharon Duke. Sharon Duke founded AIDS Service Center New York City in 1990 and is the executive director and CEO. Under her leadership, the organization has grown from a 30-person agency into one of New York City's premier multi-service community organizations. Leveraging 25 years of experience, Sharon is a dedicated advocate on behalf of low-income New Yorkers through her active service on influential community planning entities, including the New York State Value-Based Payment HIV and AIDS Clinical Advisory Group and the New York City HIV Health and Human Services Planning Council. She also serves on the board of directors of iHealth and Communities Advocating Emergency AIDS Resources Coalition. Sharon Duke. C. Virginia Fields. C. Virginia Fields has been the president and CEO of the National Black Leadership Commission on AIDS since 2008. She brings to the position over 18 years of experience as an elected official in New York City. Ms. Fields was at the forefront of community battles in the early 1980s to secure housing for people living with AIDS. As Manhattan Borough President, she was instrumental in the allocation of millions of dollars for programmatic support to community-based organizations and educational institutions. In 2008, she was appointed to the New York State AIDS Advisory Council by then-Governor David Paterson. A graduate of Indiana University's School of Social Work, she is a recipient of numerous awards, citations, and honors of distinction for her leadership on education, health, community, and economic issues. C. Virginia Fields. Ingrid Floyd. Ingrid Floyd is executive director of Iris House, a program in Harlem and central New Jersey for women, families, and the community affected by HIV and AIDS. As executive director, she has introduced new programs to the agency, such as the Health Homes Care Coordination, social media outreach, harm reduction, substance abuse screenings, and condom distribution initiatives. Ms. Floyd earned her MBA from the University of Pittsburgh in 1998 and a double bachelor's degree in computer science and professional mathematics from South Carolina State University in 1997. Ms. Floyd is an advocate and educator for women living with HIV, specifically women of color. Ingrid Floyd. Lee Garr. Lee Garr has had extensive experience working as an administrator, advocate, health educator, and case manager for 18 years. He was an adjunct instructor at LaGuardia Community College in the Human Services Department and currently serves as Director of Integrated Care and Outreach Programs at Amita Care. Previously, Lee held positions at Kaylin Lord Community Health Center, Safe Horizon, in the Staten Island Criminal Courthouse, and Lighthouse International. Lee holds a master's degree in counseling from Manhattan College and is a member of the American Counseling Association. He is proud to be a human service worker. Lee Garr. Loleza Gibson Hunt. As an award-winning activist and educator, Loleza Gibson Hunt has been the subject of national HIV and AIDS awareness campaigns like the Campaign to End AIDS, Greater Than AIDS, and Gilead's Catalyst campaign. Loleza has been on a mission to raise awareness about HIV and AIDS, not only nationally, but also as an international speaker. In 2011, she published a memoir entitled The Way I See It, to inspire people who may be facing challenges in their lives. She is passionate about educating others about the importance of HIV and AIDS, and is hopeful that this epidemic will one day come to an end. Loleza resides in Brooklyn with her husband and 2 children. Loleza Gibson Hunt. Erika Heart. Erika Heart is currently the Director of Adolescent Sexual Health at Grand Street Settlement. Erika was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer in May 2014 at the age of 28. A cancer survivor, activist, sex educator, and performer with a Master's of Education in Human Sexuality from Widener University, Erika has taught sexuality education for elementary-aged youths to adults across New York City for the past 6 years. Her work in sexuality education was catalyzed by her service as a Peace Corps HIV and AIDS volunteer in Ethiopia. Erika Heart. Christina Herrera. Christina Herrera is the founder and president of the Trans-Latina Network. Christina founded the Trans-Latina Network in order to organize and empower the transgender immigrant community through leadership development. Christina is also Opportunities Coordinator for Transgender Programming at the LGBT Community Center in New York City. Christina oversees the Trans-Latina Initiative that takes place in the Bronx Trans Collective and the Trans-Latina Leadership Group in Brooklyn. She has been working in the HIV field for 16 years. Christina Herrera. Deborah Lasane. Deborah Lasane is currently the Director of Programs at the Caribbean Women's Health Association. Deborah Lasane has more than 30 years of experience in various aspects of healthcare. Ms. Lasane's career focus has been to develop health education programs and support services to underserved communities and to contribute to the overall elimination of health disparities in New York City. Throughout her professional career, Ms. Lasane has been involved in efforts to ensure access to treatment and services for persons living with HIV and AIDS. Deborah Lasane. Calvin Lavey. In 2012, Calvin Lavey was hired at Columbia University's Mailman School of Public Health as Field Director, Project Coordinator for multiple behavioral and clinical research projects. In 2014, Calvin was appointed as the youngest member and Prevention Committee Co-Chair for New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's Ending the Epidemic Task Force. Currently, he is a member of the New York State Department of Health's HIV Advisory Body and serves as the co-chair for the New York State Black MSM Ending the Epidemic Subcommittee Task Force. Calvin is currently pursuing a Master's in Healthcare Administration at Columbia University. Calvin Lavey. Joey Lopez. Joey Lopez is the Director of Outreach and Health Services for the Ali Forney Center. Joey has been working with runaway, homeless, and street-involved youth for almost 20 years. For the past 13 years, Joey has worked at the Ali Forney Center. Joey also serves on various advisory boards, coalition, and planning bodies that advocate for the needs of the population that AFC serves. Joey is also the co-chair of New York City Continuum of Care Youth Subcommittee, which is working to help implement the Housing First model in New York City. Joey draws his strength from living with HIV for 20 years, as well as being a former drug addict and person who has experienced incarceration and homelessness. Joey Lopez.